Hello again. This is Carolyn Wood with Carolyn Star Products with tips for living a happy life. This day we're going to be discussing the concept of God, God consciousness. What or who or where is God? This is our discussion for today. The concept of God is a very wide and universal, mysterious, and wonderful concept. The universe and all that exists was created by something. Different people call it different things. And this has been a very fascinating subject and passion of mine for 50 years, and I have done extensive research. And this is my conclusion. God, universal intelligence. It has been said that that which is seen was created by that which is unseen. Very interesting. It makes a lot of sense. That which is seen was created by that which is unseen. And God breathed the breath of life into a man, and a man became a living soul. As above, so below. Science would refer to the Creator as dark matter, dark energy, the quantum field theory. The religionists and the spiritual religious people refer to this universal creative force as God. And the metaphysics of old and the ancient teachers of old in ancient history refer to this energy as consciousness, cosmic consciousness, universal wisdom, universal intelligence, universal energy, the living spirit or soul. Now the research and concern with the modern man and the modern science and the modern thinkers and the agnostics and the atheists, they come to the conclusion that because something is not seen, it does not exist. Something that's not tangible or that you can't put under a microscope does not exist. We must look at this in depth. You can feel the breeze against your face. You can feel it in the air. You can feel love. You can feel joy. You can think with your mind. You have a consciousness. And these are things you cannot see, but they exist. Science also has their way of looking at things. I'll go over that in depth in a few minutes. But there's an energy in the universe, a power, a force, a soul that animates material and gives it vitality and life. Consciousness is intelligence, and it's self-aware, and it's energy. All of these things cannot be seen. Does that mean they do not exist? Does that mean they do not exist? So there has to be a creator. I didn't create myself. You didn't create yourself. So there has to be. Also, I would like to consider the atheist, the agnostic, those that are not sure, those that are not religious, and the scientist. Let's consider all in this discussion about God. Well, what the mystics and religions of old called gods, scientists and agnostic people call dark energy, dark matter, energy. I prefer to use consciousness and energy and intelligence, for I think we will all agree that the magnificence of all the creation and all the universes, I think we would all agree that it would have to be initiated by something extremely intelligent and wise. I think we will have to come to that conclusion by everything being so magnificent and beautiful and so orderly and defined. Look at the seasons and the universes, the trees, the plants, the bushes, the food, all come in cycles of birth, death, and rebirth. All the way up to the universes being reborn by the Big Bang, dying, and then rebirth by a Big Bang, to humans being born, adolescents, adults, dying. Rebirth appears to be, I think you will agree, a natural, universal law. And according to quantum physics, everything is connected to by quantum energy, for which the scientists call energy connectors, and metaphysicians call consciousness and intelligence, and religionists and religious people call God. All the same. Referred to as dark matter and dark energy by scientists, consciousness by metaphysicians, intelligence and consciousness by metaphysicians, and God by religionists. So we all will agree that there is a fundamental essence, an intelligent essence that created such a magnificent and perfect and orderly universe. There are several famous writings and sayings that all rule to be truth today from religions and philosophers, several of them being the first one, as above, so below, and that which is seen was created by that which is unseen. That one is really up for debate, up for consideration. For the universe and all the material world is seen, but the quantum level of creation is unseen, which is energy, consciousness, and wisdom. For that which is seen is temporary. It has its time, its life, and its time to cease to be, its time for death. But that which is unseen is eternal, which has no beginning and no ending. So the invisible energy and consciousness and force and intelligence is unseen and therefore eternal. If it were seen, it would be in the material world and would not be eternal, but would be temporary. Because everything in the material world is temporary and dies, which says it could not have created itself, because it would have to be an entity of eternity to create something that was temporary. If you think about it, you would see that that makes sense. And it is said in the old writings that, and the living spirit breathed the breath of life into the man, and the man became a living soul. Now, the soul animates the body and gives it life. Why do I say that? Because a dead body is a lifeless body without a soul. And it has been determined that at the end of a life, when the body dies, the life force, the spirit, the consciousness leaves that body and ascends to a higher dimension, leaving the body lifeless, without animation, without force, without the life-giving force. The life-giving force, which is invisible, has been called by many ancient philosophers as chi, prana, life force, spirit, energy, consciousness. All invisible and eternal. As above, so below. The symbols of old, one being the flower of life, is very metaphysical. And it would appear, when you look at the universes and life and plants and trees and all around you, evidence of reincarnation, evidence of cycles. Now, there's some people who are doing research, who are not religious, want to have an experience of God personally. I agree with that. Books that were written thousands of years ago have been mistranslated, changed, altered, written by humans. I believe that we should do our own research and experience God on a personal level. Therefore, it will become more than just a belief that your parents or their parents told you to believe, but a personal experience would be more than belief. It would be an experience and a truth, not from a belief, but from an actual experience. And that was why I went on my research years ago, to come to these conclusions. Now, some people say, well, who created God? It all had to start somewhere, did it not? And if God is eternal, invisible, and not material, then that eternal being had no beginning and has no ending, because it always was, because it is invisible. And it is the material world that's temporary and dies, but the immaterial spirit world is eternal and cannot die. And so everything had its beginning in birth by the eternal consciousness. And this can be verified in the quantum world by spirit essence that they call dark matter and dark energy, that they have come to discover that this energy is all encompassing everywhere, and everything in the universe is a part of this initial energy, an energy that is omnipotent, all-powerful, and omnipresent, all-pervading, and all-wise. That which is all-wise and all-compassing certainly would qualify to create the universe. So, I look at the scientists and I understand that they will never come to realize and know the creator of the universe, because they are looking for God in all the wrong places, under microscopes, trying to see that which is unseen. And until they realize that the created universe that is seen was created by the unseen, that is an invisible force and energy, until they accept this, they will continue on in their theories and their misguided ideas and unproven theories, which will never be confirmed because they have failed to see the truth that that which is seen was created by that which is unseen, and it is impossible to put God under a microscope. If they will just listen to the mystics of old, they will come to realize and understand the true nature of this universe, the true force and energy that is eternal and created the universe is pure consciousness, universal intelligence, and energy and life force. Like the mystics of old in the mountains of the Himalayas, who float between the walls and levitate themselves, have found the truth of the universe. Now this invisible universal intelligence, energy, force, and consciousness, a consciousness that is universally wise, and a consciousness that is universally intelligent, and a consciousness that is energy, all these to create a universe. This is the energy and the force that holds the universes together. As scientists has discovered, that holds the galaxies together. And the glue that holds the solar systems and the galaxies together, they call dark matter and energy. Still a force that is invisible, am I right? Still is an intelligence that knows how to maintain and manage a universe. And still an energy that holds it all together. Invisible, powerful, and forceful, and wise. As above, so below. Creating multiple universes. And why? What better reason than to expand joy and bliss and love and happiness, which has all been agreed to be attributes of the living God, attributes of the source. Why? Because the source is a positive energy that creates beauty. Why would it not be loving and joyful and blissful if it is omnipotent? Look at the universe as and how beautiful and breathtakingly perfect, orderly it is. Is that not an experience of the expansion of beauty and joy and love, which can be called attributes of the living Creator? Beautiful and orderly in every respect. Perfect, not chaotic and ugly and hateful and evil, but beautiful and joyful attributes of God, known by the mystics and religious leaders. Perfect design. And some people say, well, I can't see God. That's an atheist, so why believe him? These people feel the breeze and the air brush against their face and their body. They can feel love and know what it feels like. But yet they believe these things. They believe the breeze and the air that they cannot see. They believe the love that is in their heart. Can love be seen? But yet they cannot believe in God because they cannot see him. Because you cannot see God, but you believe in other things that you cannot see. Please rethink this. Think again. Do your research. Study. Find the truth. Because it is only in the truth that will set you free. Another metaphor. The truth shall set you free. If you're believing in darkness, you will not be free. For it is truth. And the universal acceptance of the Creator. Accepting the attributes of the Creator. Perfect joy, perfect love, perfect peace, perfect harmony. Then shall you find inner peace and inner joy. Is not this reasonable to think? Love, bliss, peace, and harmony are all felt, but not seen, which has been listed as attributes of the living God by the mystics of old. It is said by many that God is love. To be connected to God is to be blissful, loving, joyful, and in harmony. Because these are attributes of the Creator that created the universe. Because the universe is positive and it's beautiful, not negative and ugly. Attributes of the living God that are invisible. And I say, and the mystics say, that God is intelligent consciousness. Consciousness is self-aware. And we are all children of the living God, as the mystics would say, children of the living God, which means we have inherited the attributes of the living God, which are love, peace, joy, harmony, which we have the same desires as the living God, desires to be happy. And how can we be happy without love, joy, and peace? It is our natural inheritance, our natural desire. Nobody wants to be miserable and unhappy. It is our natural desire to attain the natural attributes that we have inherited as children of the living God. Attributes of joy, love, and peace. Wouldn't it be a terrible waste of time to come in and live one short life and die and never come back again and cease to exist? What a terrible waste of time, and there's so much to learn about this universe. Why is it so hard to see the recycles of life returning and not accept humanity as being returned in reincarnation, as well as the other trees and the seasons that come and go, who are reborn again continuously as a natural cycle of life, and then label humankind as one slow, short, miserable life, and that is it? I don't think so. I think as above, so below. So reincarnation, I believe, is a natural phenomenon of life for all living things. And as we study the consciousness as children of God, don't we have a consciousness? Don't we have an intelligence? Don't we have a mind? Now, can we see our consciousness? Can we see our mind? Can we see our self-awareness? No. Those are invisible attributes inside this body that cannot be seen. So why is it so hard to accept that the Creator, the living force, the God of the universe, is consciousness and intelligence and wisdom and mind, just like we are, that cannot be seen, but can be known and felt and believed, and that exist? We cannot see our consciousness, and we cannot see God's consciousness, because God is pure consciousness, eternal consciousness, that created the temporary universe. But this consciousness that is a part of God, created by God, which can be called the soul, is that which never dies. The soul is the consciousness that comes from God. God being the eternal consciousness. If you think about it like that, does it not make perfect sense? Everybody wants happiness and peace and love. Anybody that you know that doesn't? It's a natural attribute given to you by the Creator. It's your natural sovereign gift from the universe. The consciousness of the universe, having everything, being omnipotent and all-powerful, needs or wants nothing, because it is everything that is. And certainly everything that it created, it rules above it, naturally. So, what would be the reason for the creation? So we don't seem to have a problem with the fact that we can't see our consciousness, we cannot see our minds, we cannot see our intellect. Oh, but there's a problem with a lot of people that have been known that the God of the universe is intelligence, is consciousness and wisdom and soul. Oh, we can't see it. So that's their reason for not believing it. We can't see it. Not realizing that everything is seen, is temporary and dies. It's the unseen that's eternal. Consciousness is eternal. It always was and always will be. It can be created and it cannot die. It expands its experience into other avenues. What consciousness can do is expand its knowledge and evolve and grow in knowledge and take to itself the knowledge. As wisdom, knowledge turns into wisdom. So many of the sayings and the writings of the old make a lot of sense. And it has been written in ancient scripture that the reason for creation was, and it was said in the old scriptures, God was lonely and created the universes because God was lonely, and created the multiple universes and all the forms in the universes. So therefore I say God would never be alone again. Multiple universes on end that come and one dies, it's reborn again. And for what purpose? For what purpose will a God that has everything and owns everything and is everything have for creating a universe but the expansion of joy, the expansion of bliss, the expansion of love, to expand happiness in creating other universes and other life forms and other beings. For the expansion of experience in creating life in other realms and dimensions and worlds and universes, for the expansion of experience and the expansion of joy and the expansion of bliss, to acquire and obtain further knowledge, for wisdom, to expand experience, to expand experience, to expand joy, and to expand bliss. For it is said God was lonely and created the universes for the expansion of experience into other realms and other dimensions and other universes and other life forms and multiple life forms, for the expansion of experience and the expansion of bliss and the expansion of joy in recycles and rebirths, for expansion of bliss. And so we ask ourselves, why are people suffering? Why are they so miserable? Why are they unhappy? Because they have forgotten who they are, what their purpose is, what their mission is, the reason for their creation. They have forgotten that they are children of the omnipotent, all-powerful God who gives them everything they need and everything they want. All they have to do is ask and wish it to be. That we as children of God have been given the attributes to create and manifest the desires of our heart. We have been given free will. And we have used that free will to create misery and pain and suffering. It's not God's fault, it's ours. For using our God-given attributes and power to create the very misery that we don't want, or that hate, because of ignorance. And because we have forgotten who we are, the sovereignty that we have, the blessings that we have inherited. As soon as we remember this, we can restore our state of natural bliss and joy. I'll say to you, if you love your children, you would do everything for them, everything you could for them, to secure their happiness. Why don't you think that God would do the same for his children and his creation? Provide everything that is needed. It's natural for the Creator to provide everything that's needed. This universe is so magnificent and so perfectly put together, and it had to be divine intelligence. It's too perfect. Everything is orderly and in its place. Magnificently beautiful. It had to have an intelligent design. Intelligence, unseen intelligence, just like your intelligence is unseen. You can't see your intelligence, but you're self-aware, but you can't see it. So is the intelligence of the universe. It cannot be seen because it's immaterial. It created universes and dimensions and realms to expand its existence inside those creations, to experience expansion of joy and expansion of experience. It's inside you, but it cannot be seen because it's eternal. Everything that's seen is not eternal. So how can that qualify for a God, something you can see? If you can see it, it's on time, and it definitely will decay and die. That's only natural to know that that which is unseen is eternal, because it's eternal. It cannot be seen. It's everything of the material world, the galaxies which are made up of cities of stars, which created planets and asteroids and moons, all are of the material world that will have a lifetime and will die. So what we need to do is to remember who we are and to restore our blissful happiness and our health and our joy. Everything is forgotten and can be rediscovered. We were intended to be like in the Garden of Eden, perfectly happy, until somehow our happiness got sabotaged by either our forgetfulness. Some say negative aliens, reptilians came and sabotaged. That could be true too. but we need to discover it and restore our sovereignty. We can restore our happiness. We can restore our true nature and our purpose for existence. Furthermore, about aliens and ancient aliens coming to Earth and enslaving man, it is quite a bit of evidence that aliens are all over the universe. This is a big universe, and it's quite evident that they had the technology to come here to this planet, and it's quite evident that that could be true. And it's quite also known that if aliens came to this planet, they passed themselves, some of them, some aliens that I've researched are good, some are bad, but the negative aliens came to Earth, passed themselves off as God because of the advanced technology, and went down in the history books as gods. But I tell you now that they are not God. They are aliens who came here and passed themselves off as God to control the people and enslave the people. But the true God, the real God I speak about, is the God of the universe, that created universes and created them and created all life forms. I'm talking about the eternal consciousness God. So I want to get that clear, that the aliens were not gods. They were just advanced beings from other civilizations who came here to Earth. That's all they were. Beings who came here from other worlds to visit this planet. Some were good, some were evil. The negative ones tried to enslave the people with their technology. People of the time were not educated, or did not know that these were just beings, not gods. So we need to take back our power, take back our sovereign rights, take back our heritage as divine beings, and remember who we are. And remember the true nature of the universe, the true purpose for existence. The true creation was for bliss, was for happiness. Now I want to make sure that I don't give the impression that all extraterrestrials that have visited this planet are negative. That is far from the case. Most extraterrestrials that went down in history and that are here now or that were here in the past were positive, good beings and angels that came here to assist mankind, to help educate mankind, and to advance mankind spiritually. The ones that are here today are also positive. So I just want to make that clear. The evil, negative aliens are in the minority. The majority of aliens that come here are positive, good beings. Not gods, but beings that are here to assist us. And they can assist us because they have advanced technology there. Some of them are millions of years ahead of us, and some of them have technology that could cure our illnesses, give us free energy, replicate us to replicate all of the things that we have. So their technology that we have from crash landings, that's the reason why we have the cell phones and the computers today with some alien crash technology. So we're now in the day and the time for spiritual evolution. We're now at a crossroads of spiritual evolution, where we're now beginning to wake up, to remember who we are. And there are many light workers out there today, more than I've ever seen, who are positive and trying to help us to remember who we are. So this is a wonderful time to be alive, and everything is changing for the better. The world is growing. Truth is coming out. People are remembering. Light workers are all over the place. So this is a wonderful time today to remember who we are. So I advise you to do your own research. This is my research. This is the conclusions that I've come to. Do your own research. Come to your own conclusions. The purpose is to find your joy, to find your bliss, to find happiness. That's the purpose for finding truth. Because remember, it is the truth that will set you free. So thank you very much for visiting me in my video. I'd like for you to visit my website where I have other articles on tips for living a happy life. So please have a happy life and enjoy your day. Have a good day and a happy life. This is Carolyn from Carolyn Star Products. Until we talk again, Have a wonderful day.